welcome back to CozyAnimeCookie, aka Girl Leisha, and we are diving into My Sweet Housemate. As you can tell by the hands and the boiling pot over, this is going to be a very, very unique game. Oh, what are these? Well, we'll find out. Anyways, let's go ahead and dive right in. It's going to be interesting, actually. Okay. Oh. Okay, in-house. Let's see, listing room, single room, shared kitchen, shared bathroom. No deposit. Wow. Okay, I guess we're submitting an application. Am I oh, okay, you can choose your pronouns. Just name myself Violet. And do I need to put a last name? I'm just gonna say Violet. I never have to do stuff like that. You tiredly wait for the application to go through before you shut your old laptop with a sigh. Oh, okay. This ancient thing that has clearly seen better days somehow already managed to start hyperventilating after you opened just a couple of tabs. You promptly put it in your backpack as you lean back in your seat. You can't help but let out a sore chuckle. Anyone else would probably find this old worn down diner seat extremely uncomfortable, but you don't have that luxury of complaining. In fact, it might be the softest thing you sat on in a week. Unaware of your own action, you start anxiously fidgeting with your phone, silently praying to all the possible gods out there that your application will be approved. 9, 10. At this point, you've been homeless for 11 months, nearly a year. Oh my gosh, um, this really does play into the housing crisis that are happening right now. Okay, let's keep going. After saving all the money you could for several months, you finally were able to save enough to rent an apartment. Or at least that's what you thought. In 11 months of your homelessness, the housing prices only went up, making it practically impossible for you to find anything affordable at this point. You frantically search every housing website, hoping to at least get some shitty old room, but nothing was ever even nearly in your price range. But this listing was everything you could ever ask for. You were thinking whoever was up there in the sky or down there in the pits of hell that you managed to apply basically minutes after the listing went live. Sure, it's shady as hell, no deposit, no required credit history, there aren't even any pictures, and as a cherry on top, you'll have to live with some random guy you have no information about. Oh wow, why is this game mirroring real life right now? I was supposed to play this to relax. Now I'm getting stressed. You were so eager to get it first too that you didn't even ask for a tour. If anything, you are almost entirely sure that it's possibly some old shed or even worse, a human trafficking trap. But you are already at the point where you don't even care. You feel like you'll go insane if you have to spend another night out on the streets. You shudder at the memories. Yeah, anything is better than that. Oh, you can swear your heart skips a beat as your phone lights up with a new notification on the home screen. It's an email from the housing website. Could it be? You impatiently unlock your phone, somehow managing to enter your password incorrectly twice before you do. You quickly locate the email app and anxiously start reading. Thank you for your application, Violet. We appreciate you using our services and our smart algorithm has picked these 5 other apartments for you to look at. Ugh, are you kidding me? I just applied and already got an ad? He silently cursed the website, thinking that it would have been better if they paid for your rent instead of financing these ads that no one probably even looks at. Well, besides you, while busy with your grandiose brain cursing session, you almost skip another notification that quickly floats into your phone screen. It's yet another email. I swear to God, if it's another ad, but it isn't. It's an email sent by whoever has posted that room listing. The first thing you know is it's a ridiculous length. It's short. Too short. In fact, there are only 3 lines, 2 of them being Dear Violet and BR, Suing Min Kim, the name of the original poster. The middle line just says, if you come to the apartment to sign the contract within 30 minutes, I'll give you the key. Now you are entirely sure that your heart is skipping at least 30 beats a minute. You immediately spring from the seat, grabbing your backpack on the way before your attention is caught by a sad small cup of unfinished coffee on the table. Squeezing your lips with rising guilt, you quickly grab a drink the cold remnants before putting it back down and storming out of the diner. Will this finally be the day that ends your homeless life for good? You find yourself in front of an apartment door, trying to catch your breath. You don't practically know how, but you somehow manage to make it in time. However, now you aren't even sure that you are in front of the correct apartment in the first place. You were fully expecting some shady and old building, but it turned out to be just some average apartment complex. Something you could probably never even dream of affording in your current state. This is already giving me like anxious vibes, especially now that I chose the female gender. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's keep going. I hope this story doesn't go too crazy. You hesitate for a good minute before letting out an anxious sigh and pressing the doorbell button. You hear the ordinary buzz sound play on the other side of the door and then complete silence. That silence gets quickly interrupted though as you hear some faint footstep sounds behind the door. The door is open. You jolt as the sound of a man's voice comes from within the apartment, but almost instinctively push the door open. Still hesitant, you awkwardly step into the entrance. Okay. As you walk in, you almost immediately get taken aback by your surroundings. You've replayed so many made-up horror scenarios in your head on your way here that the sight of an ordinary-looking hallway suddenly seems scarier than anything you could have come up with. There's no one in sight, so you just default to a polite stance in front of the entrance door, not even daring to make a single step. Now that you're actually in the apartment and now that you've confirmed that it looks more or less normal, your anxiety levels are going through the roof. You have to make a good impression. You won't have another chance like this. Violet, I assume? You almost jump as a tall slouch man suddenly appears in one of the doorways of the hallway you are in. You don't immediately realize that he is dressed in a suit because of how disheveled and scuffy he appears to be. I'll bet you're not in any position to judge. His eye bags almost seem to merge with his dark eyes as he tiredly looks straight at you. If your eyesight was just a bit worse, you would have even thought he just had 2 big holes for eyes, given how pale his skin is otherwise. Dumbfounded, you stare back at him, thinking that this eye contact is going on for a bit too long for your taste. Before you realize that it's your cue to respond, that would indeed be me, sir. These are so silly. Yes, that's me. And you're Mr. Kim, if I'm not wrong? You're not, but just suing me is fine. Now, if you don't mind, I'll be late for work if we don't hurry, so if you just follow me to the kitchen. The man then wastes no time as he promptly walks into the kitchen, and you are left with no choice but to follow him in. You step into the kitchen and once again get temporarily stunned by just how normal everything looks. Sure, you can tell that someone lives here by small stains and patches of dust here and there, but if you had to choose, you'd happily use the space to take some photos for online housing ads or something. Speaking of photos, you don't think heavens for the millionth time today. What? You think heavens for the millionth time today. Got it. As Sungmin put up pictures of this apartment, it would have gotten it snatched before you could even apply. You don't know if that was just pure laziness or a simple lack of time, but you couldn't feel more grateful to the man in front of you for leaving the listing so empty. I don't know, this is kind of, maybe because I'm getting psyched up because of the intro of this game, but I'm getting a little uneasy about this. But you shouldn't feel grateful just yet. You still haven't signed the contract. Now, if you just look through the papers and sign at the places I marked. Huh? The papers on the table. It's the contract. Wait, is that it? That can't be it, right? You won't even ask for any additional information? But if you're concerned about the rent, the payment is obviously upfront, but we can go through that in the evening. If I stay any longer, I will probably get fired for being late. You're free to move your stuff and unpack though. But if you're not interested, that's fine too, but then I'd appreciate it if you... No, I'll sign. I'm interested. Wow, you're an eager one, aren't you? Right. Clearly, this man is not all too concerned about who his new flatmate will be. If he was, he wouldn't have put up an empty listing and responded to a random application within minutes of receiving it. You can't even afford to care about his reasons at this point. It's a good apartment. The rent is something you can afford, and the only tenant doesn't look all too crazy. You quickly grab the papers messily scattered around the table with slightly trembling hands as you then read through them. After making sure that it really isn't some part of a human trafficking ring, you take the pen laying around on the table and find the marked spot Su Ming mentioned. I hope I'm saying his name right. Can you spell my name right? Okay. Hey, you wrote your name incorrectly. But no big deal. You just have to rewrite it. Oh, they only just want my first name? Okay. After you sign, you audibly breathe out before handing the papers to Su Ming. He quickly goes through them and then nods at you. Great. Your room is the one opposite of the bathroom. It's to the right of the kitchen. That should be it for now. Alright. The man in front of you feels around his pockets for a brief second before putting his hand into one and then taking something out. He fumbles with the item for a moment before he finally gets a firm grip on it. He is definitely clumsy, to say the least. Here's the key. Just don't lose it. I got a key. Your hands seem to shake even more as Su Min puts a simple metallic key into them. Ooh. I won't. That would be greatly appreciated. Anyways, we will handle the payment later. I should get going. Right. Lock the door after me. Yes, of course, right. You try to shake off your stupor. You still can't believe that you're officially not homeless anymore. Still somewhat stupefied, you follow Su Min back to the entrance where he proceeds to put his shoes on. Shoes that look as scruffy as he is, and then stand straight in front of the door. As straight as his slouched back allows him to, anyway. Just make sure to lock it properly and don't let strangers in. I'm not a kid. I at least know this much. Right. Well, I will see you in the evening. I'd be happy to have you for dinner. Okay. But that Soon Min leaves through the entrance door, nearly tripping over the welcome mat. Again, happens every time. After Soon Min disappears down the hallway, you waste no time as you shut and lock the door. Such a simple motion, yet it feels so foreign to you. While on different levels, you are now also a resident of this apartment. You own a key. You can lock the door, you can sleep in your own room. So simple yet so foreign. You squeeze the key that's already a home in your palm and can't help but let a nervous smile curl your lips. I did it. I really did. Still overcome with a mix of relief and excitement, you locate your room that, just like Su Min said, is opposite of the bathroom. You walk through a simple door into a bedroom that appears to be just as simple. You're surprised to find that it's actually fully furnished, bed and desk included. At this point, you wouldn't even mind sleeping on the floor, but seeing how the bed even has its own bed sheets, you almost tear up. If this is a dream, I will be so pissed. But it isn't, and you can hardly believe it. Well, I guess I might as well unpack. The only good thing about being homeless is that besides the backpack always glued to your shoulders, you have no other things. You take it off and start going through your carefully packed stuff. Unpacking time! Toothbrush. That could be yucky. Should use another one. This kitchen. Oh. Why would you have a DNR sticker? Finally done with putting your things away, you turn towards your new bed and look down at it with rising temptation. No longer able to resist, you let yourself fall into the fresh bed sheets. So soft and all yours. You rub your face against the pillow with a smile. It feels like the luck you've accumulated throughout the year was all poured into this one day. Who knows, maybe in the future you will even be able to rent an apartment of your own. Everything seems possible now. It really does. You don't notice how your eyelids start feeling heavier and heavier, and by the time you really realize and open your eyes, a few minutes have already passed. Luckily though, you don't have a shift today. Might as well take a nap. A really lucky day, huh? Left with no energy to even think, you let yourself fall into a deep slumber. Man. When you open your eyes again, it's already dark outside. Feeling strangely satisfied and refreshed, you stretch and slowly sit up. God, I haven't slept this good in a long time. Oh, right. Su Min said that you sort out the rent payment in the evening, and he even offered to have dinner together. Free food. Crap, this is not what's important right now. You feel a sense of anxiety build up in your throat as you check the time on your phone. 10:27 p.m. Crap. While you silently curse yourself for being so careless, you get off the bed and start unconsciously walking back and forth. I mean, if he really cared, he would have woken me up, right? It's not like you locked the room or anything. Speaking of that, is he even home? You cautiously tiptoe towards the door and quietly put your ear against it, trying to see if you can catch any sounds. He's here. You can clearly make out some footstep sounds and moving noises coming from the outside of your room. Great. Wonderful. You're not getting kicked out just yet. Maybe the dinner offer is still on the table, too. Not wanting to wait any longer, you swing the door open and walk into the hallway. Surprisingly, the hallway looks really different when it's dark. It almost has this new feel to it. Very different from the plastic perfect filming set you've witnessed earlier. You don't spend much time mulling over your perception of the hallway, though, as your attention is caught by the light coming from the kitchen. The sounds are coming from there, too. You don't have to be a Sherlock to deduce that Su Min is there. So, not wasting any time, you walk towards the light. I don't know, I'm still creeped out. Wait. What? Oh no. This can't be. I knew it! 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 Oh my gosh, I knew it! Oh, what the hell? Oh, hey. This can't be that, right? Come on, Violet, you're not stupid. There has to be an explanation. Right? That's a hyper-realistic cake? Movie props? Are you working on a filming set soon, Min? Those are movie props, aren't they? No, these are real human body parts. Oh, come on, you were supposed to agree with me. Oh, sorry. This is just a weird-looking pig. If you're picking up what I'm putting down... Shit. And you just started thinking you lucked out with this apartment. What is he? A serial murderer? A cannibal? A serial cannibal? No, wait, that's wrong. A cannibal serial? If you're thinking about calling the police, I'd advise you against it. Of course you're calling the police. Next thing you'll know, it'll be your leg he has on that cutting board. You just got out of homelessness and you're not about to die to some cannibal serial murderer in a pink apron now. You do understand that if I get arrested, you will no longer be able to stay here, right? Do you read my thoughts too? I don't. How do you know I want to stay here anyways? Just so you know, Mr. Sumi, I have a grandma I can stay with at any time. No, you don't, Miss Violet. And even if you do, you probably hate her enough to apply to a random suspicious listing and sign the contract all in the same day. So you did it on purpose? Well, something like that. Oh. Call the police. Don't call the police. Oh my goodness. This calls for a save moment. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. What the heck? Okay. Okay. Okay, return. Okay. Okay. This is, oh my gosh. I mean, okay, this is just a story. In real life, you will call the police, but let's see what happens when you don't call the police. No, he's right. There's nowhere else you can go now, and your only choice would be to return to homelessness. It'd be silly to think police would help with your situation, too. What the hell? Are you going to eat it? Yes. It's too much meat, though, so I'm just going to store it for the future. I don't get such tender meat often. It could be a pity if it went to waste. What? This wasn't the dinner he was talking about, was it? What are you even supposed to do now? Do you really have to tolerate a cannibal living literally in the same apartment as you? But the life on the streets, the feeling of your skin being so dirty that no matter how hard you scrub it, nothing makes you feel clean. The long nights spent dumpster diving, going through ponds of discarded food just to be chased away by minimum wage employees that in retrospect are in no better situation than you are on your... Oh gosh, you shudder at the memories. Listen. Yes? Oh shit. Whatever. Anything is better than going back there at this point. If they catch you, don't involve me. And like, don't eat me? Deal. It might take me a while, and as you can see, it's really messy, so let's talk about your payment tomorrow. Yeah, I can see that. You got a little something. Well, everywhere. Oh, oopsie, I didn't realize. I guess I'll have to come up with another explanation for the dry cleaners. Okay. Last time they didn't fully believe me. It's just paint excuse. Why are suits such a pain? Right. Well, you probably better go sleep. Unless you want to watch. No. No thanks. Well, see you tomorrow then. Yeah. Good night, my new housemate. Don't forget that I know where you sleep. Oh my gosh. Okay. We literally live in the same apartment. Why wouldn't you? Just thought I should remind you. Right. I'm leaving now. I'm going this way, and you're going to stay there. Here. Good night, Violet. Oh my gosh. Like, I knew what the story was going to probably be about, but it was a shocker. You feel like you won't be able to sleep tonight, but surprisingly, you zonk out pretty quickly. Yeah, nope. So, yeah, okay. I'm sorry. Let's continue. The next few days, you are still overcome with a faint sense of panic, afraid that soon men will eat you, or even worse, the police finds him and you will have to go back to the streets. But contrary to your fears, nothing really happens. In fact, after handling the first rent payment and enduring Soon Min's awkward attempts at thanking you don't even see him all that much. Regardless of how under-socialized he seems, he's fairly polite when you do encounter him. Soon Min seems to work some pretty brutal hours at his office job. Your apartment is basically a ghost town half of the time. You wouldn't be surprised if there were literal ghosts haunting this place, considering all the bodies piling up around here. You're lucky that your shifts usually start in the early morning and end somewhere during the daytime or evening, unlike Sumin's grueling schedule. At first you thought that you'd at least cross paths with him in the afternoons, but as it turns out, he typically comes home rather late at night. It's unlikely that your housemate is getting his full 8 hours of beauty sleep. 3 weeks pass by without you noticing, and still you can count the amount of times you cross paths with Sumin on your one hand. Those few times that you did see him, you could feel his gaze linger on you. You're not sure what that is about, but even when he is not around, you can still feel his eyes lapping at your skin. Okay. Sometimes you wake up in the middle of the night to the sounds coming from the kitchen, which your imagination twists into the sickest imagery. With that aside, you really have nothing to complain about. You can't be more grateful to have a solid roof above your head and somewhere to return after work every day. Some form of steady housing really does change your life for the better. You don't have to worry about where to sleep every single night, but about not being able to shower when you want, about the chance of getting robbed if you're not careful enough, about having some privacy, and so on. You hate to admit it, but you really don't regret staying here even a bit. Girl! Okay. You condemn what Sumin does, but considering you're not really exposed to it anyway, Even the constant dread of being butchered or kicked out if he's ever found out slowly leaves your mind. Despite how absolutely worn out Suman appears to be, he is very mindful about the cleanliness of your common spaces. Surprisingly, even your funds start looking better now that you're able to take on more hours and leech off Suman's Wi-Fi. Hell, you even start considering getting a second job. Everything seems almost too good to be true. Girl. Oh, Lord. With that being said, that ledge there, I'm gonna go ahead and do a hard stop here. Um, that was really surprising to find out what their roommate's hobby is, but we'll continue on this story on another day. I hope you have a great rest of your day, evening, night, or whenever you see this video. Comment down below, like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. All right, bye.